Hello and welcome to today's video. The purpose of today's video is to talk to you about Google Chrome, and specifically I want to talk about tab organization strategies. Sometimes when you're busy performing various tasks, you might have 10, 15, 20, or even 60 different tabs open, and that can at sometimes be quite overwhelming. And so let's go ahead and break down some strategies that might save you some time. Right now, I have several education tabs open: Clever, NitroType, EdgeElastic, Flip. I also have the Endeavor Charter Talks YouTube channel open, and I have the Family Tech Support page. And because I work with multiple screens, I actually have several other tabs open on an adjacent screen. Sometimes you might have more than one browsing experience open and you have several different tabs open all at one time. And oh my word, it can be somewhat overwhelming if you're trying to locate something and you can't remember where you last opened that. Inside Google Chrome, you might have this little down-facing arrow located right here. When you click on that down-facing arrow, it's going to give you a list of all the current tabs that you have open across your various browsing windows. If you wish to close out any one of these tabs easily, you can come over to the X and you'll notice that this says Clever Portal. Over here on the left, it says Clever Portal. So if I click the X right here, you'll see how that tab disappeared. In the event you're disappointed that you closed out a tab and you would like for it to reopen quickly, you can use your keyboard in order to bring that resource back up quickly. Hold the Control button down, hold the Shift button down, and then touch the letter T like tomorrow. When you do that, the very last tab that you closed will then reappear. If you repeat that sequence over and over again, then the second tab that you recently closed, and the third tab, and the fourth tab, and so on, will then reappear in sequence for you. In the event your browsing experience appears to be cluttered along this tab region, you can cluster tabs by category. Let's go ahead and practice this. I'm going to come over to the Clever Portal right here. I'm going to right click on that tab. If you have a trackpad, you might click the bottom right corner, or you might use two fingers on the bottom right corner. I have a wireless mouse, so I actually have the ability to simply click the right click button. When I do that, I have some options that appear up at the top. And what I want to do is I want to add this tab to a new group. I'm going to click one time. In this region, I have the ability to choose various different colors, and I can also name them. So I'm going to call this Education. And you can call it whatever you want. And right here, the gray circle has been chosen, which is why this group identifier is this light charcoal color. But if it's important to me, I can choose a different color. And you'll notice how this band along this region also takes on that very same color as well. In order to close out this box right here, I'm going to click Enter one time and it will disappear. If I wish for this adjacent tab to live inside of that group, you'll notice that when I move this over to the left, it then becomes nested in that space. And then EdgeElastic, and then Flip, and then I'll go ahead and stop there for the purpose of this tutorial. If I would like for these 4 tabs to disappear for just a pinch because it's cluttering this top region, I can click on the word Education. And when I click on the word Education, each of these items will get tucked away into that space, almost as if it's a folder that I want to open and close. These next 2 items, I'm going to classify these as communication. So I'm going to right click one time, I'm going to add to a new group, and instead of tucking this item into Education, I'm going to come right up here where it says New Group. And let's go ahead and choose orange, and I'm going to write Communication. To press Enter on my keyboard. I'm going to click on this adjacent tab, and then I'm going to scoot it over into this region as well. And when I click Communication, you'll notice how it is tidy and all tucked away. At any moment, I can click on any one of these and expand all of that content, or I can tuck it away so that it's less overwhelming. Now, I also have these 4 tabs located in this browsing experience. What if I want all 4 of those tabs to scoot over into this space? Let me show you how to do that efficiently. You'll notice how this tab is slightly different in color from this tab. It's like a lighter teal color. I'm going to hold the Shift button down on my keyboard, and when I click on this one, you'll notice how these two are now the same color. I'm leaving the Shift button in the down position. I'm going to click this one, and I'm going to click this one. I'm going to let go of the Shift button. While all of them have that new teal color, I'm going to shift right up here, and then you'll notice how they have popped into this browsing session. If I had only done that one by one, then only one of those tabs would have appeared in that space. Let me duplicate this tab, right-click, duplicate. If you only grab one singular tab and then scoot up, it will disengage from that adjacent browsing experience and then get deposited into this adjacent browsing experience. But if you want more than one, that's when you hold down either the Control button or the Shift button to cluster tabs neatly for transport. I'm going to right-click. I'm going to create a new group. I'm going to color that area. I'm going to name that area, and then I'm going to press Enter. In the event you spelled the name of a group incorrectly, or you've changed your mind and you would like to rename it, all you need to do is right-click directly on that group labeling box and then make those changes inside of that space. Now that this group has been constructed, I can move these other tabs in or out of that group efficiently. If you have changed your mind and you no longer want these tabs inside of a group, you can easily click directly on that group naming box. You can come down to Ungroup, and this is an efficient way to ungroup all of those tabs. And so that group has disappeared, but the tabs have not disappeared. You still have access to all of that. There are just a few more things that I want to mention when it comes to organizing your tabs. Right here on a tab, if you right-click, you can pin a tab. It will make it small, and it's going to deposit it on this far left-hand side. And maybe simply by looking at the icon, you instantly know what that represents. So you don't necessarily need that entire tab to be the large size that it normally is, and you want to come back to it in a little while, but you don't necessarily need it to take up as much space. So that's how you pin an item. To unpin it, you're going to right-click, and you're going to come down to Unpin, and then it will take on that large size yet again. One other item that I want to mention to you in this down-facing arrow, I showed you how all those various tabs across all your browsing experience can be located here. I also mentioned how you can close it. 2 other things. When you scoot down to the bottom, anything that's been recently closed, you can locate those items down on the bottom. And then up here at the top, you can search for something by name. You know what? Edge Elastic is somewhere in here, but I didn't see it. So by typing in just a few letters, then you can easily locate a tab by using that tool over there, the Finder on that right-hand side. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Have a great day. Bye-bye.